Great. Mickey, lots of people are waiting to hear more about the actual development that we're going to be speaking about tonight.
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do. Introduce yourself. You could probably do a better job than me.
As you can see, my name is Mickey. I'm the sales manager of Yuvalim, and I will manage the sales in our new project that is across the street of Yamim, the main street. My son brought me my electricity to the laptop, so and I will manage it. So you can ask, I will answer.
So when we spoke, you mentioned you've been involved with this project right from the beginning, including the planning, some of the layouts of the project. Tell us a little bit about why Yuvalim chose this specific area. Tell us a little bit more about the decision to get involved in this urban renewal project.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dealing with this project from the beginning. It's starting a few years ago, around 2015. And we start to work on this project. It's a Pinui Binui. How do you say it? We took an.
I was going to say we need to explain what Pinui Binui is.
Yeah, it's like a combination. We're breaking the old houses, and we are building new neighborhood instead of what is going on over there now. We will break 180 apartments, and we will build around 900 apartments instead.
Wow.
Yes, it was.
And what happens to the people living there at the moment?
We are moving them to, if there is people that live in the old houses today, we are moving them to another apartments, and we will pay the rent until they will get the new apartment. They're receiving benefits from it. So if they're giving us 70-meter apartments, they will receive more meters. Upgrade. And if there is a tenant, so we will pay the rent for them instead of the tenants.
Okay.
The project was approved in 2018 by the municipality of Netanya. The TABA, it's called the improvement of the project. But then the Corona came. So it was delayed by around 1 year, 1.5 years. And now we are 2 months, 3 months, we will receive the permit to start to build. All the people that live over there already got a letter of that told them that they need to leave until around May. It's supposed to be the 22 of May. Until then, they need to leave the apartment. And around July to August, we're supposed to break all the whole buildings and to start build. That's the situation now.
Give us a sense of, I know we spoke about Yamim and the opportunity of this project being in such close proximity to Yamim, and we all, well, I don't know if we all know, but tell us a little bit about real estate in Yamim and how it's become. I mean, the prices have just gone, escalated over the past year or so. So what's attractive about this project in relation to that?
Okay, Yamim, it's the best neighborhood in Netanya today. Okay, I live in Yamim too. I saw that Ellen told that, but I was marketing. I have a woman with Yamim because I was start to work here in marketing and sales with another company in 2010, something like this. I was sold Shikunu Binui back then, and it was around the beginning of this neighborhood. I can tell you that the people that bought here, it's from the outside of Netanya, almost most of them. They came from Ra'anana, Herzliya, Keisaria, Tel Aviv. The people that recognize the new neighborhood by the sea. Back then, it was like one room in Tel Aviv or two rooms in Tel Aviv. They bought here penthouses or like 5 rooms apartment that cost like 2 rooms. The socioeconomy here is very good. It's very high, I can say. You have everything. It's like a closed neighborhood. It's very small. It's towers by the sea. We have good education here. We have malls. We have shopping center, a small one. It's called Piano. It's very nice, very boutique. I can say that all the neighborhood, it's like we are all familiar, all know each other. It's something like a community. It's big, but it feels like it's small community. And a new project, if I can show you this in my background, it will be like another neighborhood.
We can ask Danny to pull up a slide. Danny, if you wouldn't mind pulling up Julian's slide of
that's exactly, this project is exactly in front of Yamim. That's why we will call this project, we call it Yamim Hatzira. It's like, yeah, exactly. You see my mouse or it's your mouse?
We can't see your mouse, but I think we can see the red section.
If we will see the yellow, it's the main street. It's called Ben Gurion. This here you can see the Sportek or the mall. It's in front of the Sportek. The street is called Zalman Shazar. We will break all, I think, almost all the right side of Zalman Shazar, almost from the beginning. We can see that, we cannot see here, but in the east side of the project, there is a small houses. And
we do have a picture. I think in the next slide, we can see an existing aerial shot. There we go.
Exactly. Yes, this is a good picture. From the left, we can see small houses. It will stay like this. This is the second step of the project. It will be divided to 2 steps. Here we can see the second one. And from the right, we see in old houses. In the future, maybe it will change too. That means that we are changing Nordo. Okay, we will build, we and a few more companies, big companies, will renew this neighborhood. Yeah. It will change. It will continue Yamim. That's what I'm trying to say. You can see the Sportek in front. Only Ben Gurion is between us. Yeah. So people that will today cannot afford to buy in Yamim and still want to be close to the sea and go to study education in Yamim, the new neighborhood can go to Yamim. That's a new thing. Until now, Nordo, they had their school and kindergartens. Today, the municipality start to do a mix. So they can came to Yamim, it will be part of Yamim. That's why we call it Yamim Hatzira.
Great. Tell us a bit more about the actual project and why it's unique. I know that we spoke earlier and you mentioned it was designed around this concept of communal shared living spaces. I think that's pretty interesting to people because the perception is that if you buy an apartment in Israel, unless you're buying in a very fancy building, you don't really get access to amenities like gyms or outside playgrounds. So tell us a bit more about that.
Okay. Today, when we start to think about this project, we wanted to bring a new story. Okay, because we are taking an old neighborhood and we are changing it. So in the east side in the north of this neighborhood, there is Agamim. It's a new neighborhood. Okay, it's not new, but it's one of the newest neighborhoods in Netanya. From the west side, there is Park Hayam. It's a new neighborhood. And from the south, we have Yamim. So we needed to think about something that it will be new and not like other projects As you can see, the project, it's like a new neighborhood. We have 9 floors, 23 floors, 17th floor. It's not like the old buildings are the same. The thing that we've done, we thought about to make the project like a co-living, like a new community. That's why we took all the rooms, from in each building we have a special room for gym, a club, a yoga room, or stuff
There's
like
an
that.
indoor gym, there's a communal office like workspace
Like
for
yes, like
adults.
WeWork, yoga, automatic
There's a
machines,
kiddies
like
play
a super,
area.
yes, and the working materials that you can share and put in this room that everybody can take and bring it back. So we took all those rooms from all the buildings and we make it a share. So you can go to the neighbor building and to use the gym. You can go to the other one and to use the yoga.
So if you're a tenant in the building, you can access all those amenities. I saw it was
Yes,
quite nice.
it's like a co-living. It's
Yes.
shared. Everything is shared. So
and managed by I think that it's
yeah,
managed,
a management company. You will pay
management
maintenance.
company.
Yes, of course.
And there's no pool.
No pool.
Okay.
No, that's not.
Okay. But we do have a beach very close by.
It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So people are asking how, well, I think Julian will speak more to this just now, the proximity to the sea, to the beach, certainly Poleg Beach. I think we worked out it's about 1.2 kilometers. I think it's.
Yes, if you go ahead through Yamim, you have a walkway that crosses Yamim, like across, that you can go straight. It's 1 kilometer to the beach, something like this. You will do jogging.
I think also, just
like
to point out as
Yamim.
well, just to point out, swimming pools and boardings increase the maintenance and monthly costs.
And people don't use it.
Yeah.
People don't use it. Only 20 people from 100 people maybe use it.
And it adds a lot to the general monthly maintenance costs.
It's nice to have it. It's beautiful in the view, but they don't use it.
Okay. We'll get to more detailed questions about the opportunities of the actual apartments. But I wanted to just ask you, from your perspective, having spent so many years in the industry, what's attractive about buying at this early pre-phase? Well, I always understood it's kind of off plan. It hasn't been built, it's pre-phase. What are the benefits for people?
Okay, I will tell you. I will answer like this. In Israel, there is options before you start to build. You start to negotiate with the bank. So there is, from one side, you need to do a pre-sale to sell few apartments before the bank will. They want to see the trust that you have clients. You put capital. They put capital 7% before the bank, and that's something that the bank wants from the builder. The opportunity for the clients to buy in pre-sale or in friends and family, that's it's in the beginning before we do marketing, before we spend another shekel on marketing. So the opportunity is that you share the risk with us, okay? But it's not exactly a risk, because your money, you have guarantee. The 7%, if I don't sign yet with the bank, the 7% is in the trust account. So the lawyer can keep the money. After we close with the bank, then we move the 7% to the bank account, and then the client will receive a bank guarantee for all his money.
Yeah.
But if you buy in the beginning, so you will share with us, we will share with you the increasing of the prices. The 100 client will not pay like the first one or the 21, and it's like this. The price always increase up. Yes.
And I guess it's also selection of apartments, right? At this
yeah, of course. That's the advantage.
Selection.
You can choose. Yeah, of course, of course.
Lastly, Mickey, tell us, and I'm sure we'll have questions in the end, tell us a bit about Yuvalim as a company, as developers. They're very well known in Israel, well respected. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Yuvalim, okay, I know Itzik Baruch, he's the owner. I know him personally for more than 10 years because he grew up with one of my partners. The company is working more than 20 years. Itzik is a shamai. How do you say it in, I forgot the word.
He does evaluations.
Yeah, he do valuation. That's his, that's what
An appraiser. An appraiser.
Appraisal, yeah. In the last, yes. In the history, that's what he's done. And he became a builder. They have a lot of buildings that they build in Tel Aviv, especially. And new and big project in Ashdod, Ramat Gan, Tel Aviv, Herzliya, Netanya.
Ranana as well.
Ranana a lot.
Ranana, yeah.
Ranana is from Ranana. So
Oh.
Yuvalim build in Neve Zemer, and they have a new project in the center of Ranana in Achuza. That's something like a gold in few years. In the market, a lot of people love him because of his personality before the company. He's very quiet one, and I don't know how to say it, but he can see the future. You know what I mean? He can see the future like a gold point like this. So Nordo is something that he recognized few years ago. So he started to work on this neighborhood. He told, okay, listen, in the future, he was working in front of the municipality to start to change the taba. He was the first in Nordo. After that, more companies came. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
Great, thank you, Mickey. Thank you for all that information. I'm sure we'll have, if we have questions afterwards, we'll get to them. I want to try and keep this webinar to an hour because it's late for a lot of people, and I want to make sure we cover everything. Julian, many people are very eager to hear about the deal, the opportunity. Do you want to just take us through what Hold's focus is, and you know, just give us a sense of why you selected this opportunity to work with Yuvalim?
Thanks. So, I mean, our just very briefly, what our company has done over the last close to 30 years is we get foreigners involved, and mainly foreigners involved in the property market in Israel, and really where our niche has been in finding in new areas in Israel where there's opportunities to get involved in pre-sale. So Mickey did mention the advantage of pre-sale. So you get into these projects when the planning is almost completed. It's, as Mickey said, before the banks actually get involved. And the developers have got his pre-sale units. In this case, we've taken 100 units off the market before it's gone onto the market.
Oops, we seem to have lost Julian there for a few minutes. Julian, are you with us? I think maybe I can carry on what Julian was saying in terms of this pre-sale opportunity. With this specific project, there've been 100 pre-sale units that have become available, and pre-sale really means before it goes to the main market. And Hold is working in conjunction with another company to sell these pre-sale units. I'm just hoping that Julian comes back online soon so he can carry on. In the meantime, Danny, should we pull up a slide just showing the development and the proximity of the new development to Area Mem?
Wow, I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
We lost you. It's okay. You're back.
So basically, we organized from the legal side. So we've got part of the team. There's a whole lot of attorneys that we use. One in particular where we facilitate the legal agreements. And what's most important about that is we do it in English and in Hebrew, because these contracts are signed in Hebrew, but we facilitate where we do translation of certain parts of that contract, so you're aware of what what you're buying, and that's a very key part of the transaction. We also have got a lot of expertise in opening up bank accounts. I think one of the most challenges investing in property in Israel is trying to get money into the country. So we're able to, with a relationship with a number of banks, assist with opening of bank accounts. We're also able to assist with mortgages. As a foreigner, and I must add a disclaimer here, is that it's all subject to bank approval, but they typically are prepared to loan foreigners up to 50% of the purchase price once 50% of the purchase price has been paid. So we facilitate that. And then also we have a team of project managers and engineers on the ground that actually oversee the building of the apartments. So there's times during the process that selections have got to be done of tiles, of kitchens, of colors. So we facilitate that, but also make sure that it's implemented correctly. And right up to pre-delivery inspection. So engineers go in before receiving the apartments. We do checks on the structural checks of the apartment and make sure that whatever's meant to be there is there. And then once we've got the keys have been delivered, if it's going to be for rentals, we'll find tenants and manage the apartments on investors' behalf. So it's literally, we can get you involved remotely into the property market here in Israel. So those are the services that we provide.
I think it's also worth mentioning, Julian, that we manage over 170 properties on behalf of investors. And I think for people specifically who aren't living in Israel and need, feet, eyes and ears on the ground, Hold plays a very important hand-holding role throughout the process, which offers peace of mind to many people. Back to the project. Tell us why Hold likes it. You've got a team, we've got a team that finds these projects. Why is this the golden opportunity in your opinion?
So, when we were looking for, so firstly what we did is over about 5 years ago, when Yamim was still a very new city and was early stage of the development, my colleague Ari Shapiro actually identified Yamim as an upcoming area of Netanya. And we got a whole lot of investors to invest in property in Yamim. So we saw what that area has become, and we've had our eye on Netanya over the last couple of years, and we've sold in projects in center of Netanya. We've sold a couple in Park Hayam in South Netanya, and we've always had our eye on Kiryat Nordor because we've known that there are going to be this urban renewals been happening. As Mickey said, it kind of came to a halt during COVID, but a couple of months ago, we were able to, team up with, as I mentioned, a group where we've now taken this pre-sale, and really what it's all about for us is just that the infrastructure exists, Yamim exists, it's become a bubble, it's an amazing city, the infrastructure's there, it's very near our highway. And what we've seen is we've seen good capital appreciation from an investment point of view in Yamim. And with, as you mentioned, 4,900 units being developed in area, and then a few years to come, we believe we've got a lot of faith that this is going to continue the trend in Israel of good capital appreciation, but also from a lifestyle point of view. Its distance, as has been mentioned, to the beach, its distance from piano to shopping centers, it all exists and it's there. We've actually also worked, I mentioned Yuvalim and Rana, so we've worked with Yuvalim in the past, and they've delivered successful projects to our investors. But to summarize, Nikki, it's all about the location. We believe it's an incredible location, and it's a great time to be involved because of this pre-sale opportunity before it actually gets into the market. And I just wanted to clarify one thing that Mickey actually mentioned was that money that gets paid doesn't go to Yuvalim, it goes to Bank Leumi, who are the bank who are financing the project, and they will issue investors with a bank guarantee for your money. So the money's not at risk here.
Oh, that's an important point for sure. Can you talk a little bit more about additional costs? There are additional costs to purchasing property, especially in new developments. Can you touch a little bit on those costs and specifically the building index and how that works?
Yeah, sure. I think one of the things that we pride ourselves in at Hold, just from a big picture point of view, is in the process, we try and get as many costs disclosed to the investor as possible. So we cover all those costs right down to when the apartment gets delivered, the cost to deliver, and I mean to connect the apartment to water, electricity, and gas. So we do go into the detail of all the costs in property investing in property upfront. So the costs associated with, besides the purchase price, obviously there's purchase tax in Israel, which starts at it's a sliding scale starting at 8%. There's lawyer's fees, so the lawyer will charge a percentage of the deal to do the transaction. And remember that the law is a very important part of the transaction, that it represents the investor in the transaction. So you will have a lawyer that's representing you, and that lawyer will stay with you for the entire 4 years to make sure that everything is going to be covered until delivery of the apartment. And then there's our fee to manage the process as well. And then there's the building index. So the building index basically it's an index that's published by government. So it does ultimately affect the purchase price. It's published by government and it's published monthly. And what they do is they're tracking the inflation in the building industry in Israel. So when prices of materials go up, the index goes up. So that index, any move in that index, any percentage increase in that index, that percentage is applicable when the next payments are made. So just by an example, if you pay 15% now, then only that index is only applicable to the 85%.
Okay.
If you had to pay 100% of the purchase price now, that index is irrelevant.
Okay.
So that index, if it goes up by 2.5%, any money that's outstanding, that will be attracting that 2.5%. But
so
once
it really
again,
depends on how people gear their investment.
Correct. So it's depending how long, but at the moment, there's pre-sale opportunities now. You put down 15%, pay 85% at the end. And at the moment, index has gone up a little bit. Well, it's gone up, but we'll track it over the period of time. But what we do is in the process of purchase, we produce a cash flow. So the cash flow, as I mentioned, details all the costs involved, and we estimate what that index might be. So we try and get as close to it as possible, but who can predict what the future is?
Yeah, that's a variable you can't really see in your crystal ball right now. You can just estimate it. But I think that's an important point. It's important that, when purchasing a property, that people go in with their eyes wide open and there are no surprises. And I think that's part of the benefit of working with partners on the ground, that everything is disclosed. There are no surprises down the line. So that's a good point. Okay, so the deal is 15% deposit now, 7% now actually, to secure a property. The balance in August as the building starts, and then 85% on delivery. When is delivery expected?
So it's what we're signing with the contracts that are currently getting signed. It's in 50 months' time. So it's in 4 years and 2 months' time.
Okay.
So that's what's contractually going to be signed.
So the end of 2026.
Yeah.
Okay.
August, September, yeah.
You mentioned the financing bank was Bank Gloomy, so we did cover that. And this deal is not going to be on the table for very, very long. Tell us about that, and how people can take advantage, and what the next steps would be for people who are on this webinar who are interested buyers and want to take this to the next level.
Yeah, so we've taken, as I mentioned, we're part of a group that have taken 100 apartments in this pre-sale phase. We've been given until the end of Pesach to complete this stage, and then till the end of April to actually complete the transaction. So in order to get involved now, what we're doing is we're trying to get, we're getting people to select an apartment. We're assisting with that, what size apartment, what direction, what building. We're then getting our agreement signed. We're taking the apartments off the market. That process happens by signing a registration document with the developers that then gets taken off the market. And then the last week of this month is when these deals will be signed with the developer. And then the process kicks off.
How many have been sold out of interest, out of the 100?
So there's just over 40, there's 42 that have been sold at this stage. But I think a lot of people are waiting for the webinar to get more information to hear from Mickey, to hear from the area. So we anticipate, some good sales coming in the next couple of days.
Okay, great.
And I think just to reinforce, and Mickey did mention it as well, is we expect, the pricing is very good at this stage, and the terms are very good, and it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity, I believe, to be so close to the beach. This property, if it was in Tel Aviv, would probably be 3 or 4 times the price. And you're only about, we timed it the other day on Waze, at 20 minutes away from Tel Aviv, no traffic. So it literally is, a great opportunity.
For sure, for sure. And I know that what we're going to be doing is there's going to be a poll that's going to be put up for anyone who is interested in taking this a step further and setting up a one-on-one. There have been many questions about, the size of the apartment. At this stage, there is quite a big selection, so we're not going to go into details about the sizes and pricing. That will obviously happen on a case-to-case basis. Everyone should also have received an email within the next 10 minutes where you can also fill in a form and schedule an appointment with us, and we can take the conversation further, and that would be the next step to taking advantage of this opportunity. I love being on time. Punctuality is one of my strong points, and we have 2 minutes left to go on this webinar. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank all our panelists. Mickey, thank you so much. Alan, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Just one thing that I forgot to say, that we are breaking the old neighborhood, and we are building all the buildings together at one time. So we don't build it one after one.
Oh, that's an important point.
Yeah, and so you can choose small buildings.
Yes, there's a combination of towers. And
yes, you can play all the project.
Okay, great. Well, hopefully those who are interested will contact us, and we'll go through the different options with them. Lizzie unfortunately had to leave, but I just want to give my thanks to her. Maybe Julian, you can mention the starting price for people who haven't seen, just give a ballpark sense of what the prices are like.
So just thanks, Nikki. I think just, from the 2-bedroom apartments on the lower floors, the starting price is 2,350,000 shekels. And then it goes up to the penthouses, just over 4 million shekels. So there's a wide range. Price per square meter is very, very favorable when you're looking at South Netanya.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to everyone who joined us. We're going to end off, and to Danny, who of course has been handling all the technical stuff in the background. Thank you, Danny, for all your support and your help. We really, really appreciate your time. We're going to end off with a short video on hold, and we look forward to getting in touch with those people who want to take the conversation further. Have a great evening.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Nikki.
Good night.
Good night.
Where is home? Is it the place where we're born? Is it where we see ourselves retiring? For Jews around the world, Israel, the Holy Land, will always be the place we belong. Let us find your perfect home. Because we realize that purchasing property is just the beginning of the journey, and everything that comes afterwards can be a little overwhelming. Our team will hold your hand throughout the process. Legal services, opening bank accounts, organizing mortgages, project management and post-sales management of the property, including finding tenants and managing your apartment. You can trust that with over 20 years experience and backed by the biggest development companies in Israel, our team is focused exclusively on representing the unique needs of our buyers. Anything is possible, and we will make your dream a reality. Talk to us about finding and securing your future property in Israel.